Hello and welcome back again to the World Cyber Arena 2017 Asian Pacific Qualifiers. We're taking a look at game number 2 now. Clutch Gamers facing off against Mineski. I'm Lyrical, joined as well by Ryuu. Dota, sorry again for a little bit of the delay that we had in between game 1 and game 2. There was a little bit of issues apparently with first of all getting the lobby started, and then afterwards Gabby's PC had to be restarted. But we're all back now, all 10 players in the lobby, and the 2 casters you love to hear from are also in the lobby. Ryuu, how you doing? Good talk, man. Maybe he died because of the lack of game that we had for a little while. Want to mention real quickly too, I'm sure you can hear me now. Hello, Ryuu, you there?
Yeah, what's up? Finally, you wanted to talk to me.
No, I'm sorry. It was probably my fault that that we didn't have the game also, I'm sure.
Everything, it can't be your fault.
Yeah.
It's fine. I believe in you. I believe you're going to do better this game.
I appreciate
and
that.
Not jinxing everything.
I know that did. I felt bad. There were a couple of moments. I mean, Mineski still ended up winning the game, which was the team that I jinxed. But you know, it's fine. But yeah, how do you come back after a game like that? Do you just ban out Naga Coddle in the second phase, no matter what?
You know, maybe not both of them, but one of them could be. It depends on like how they approach their picks early on here. They're gonna have a Sand King. Not necessarily the best with dealing with the Naga illusions once they get out of control still, but can definitely tempo control. It's probably a lot more reliable too, having this stun and boots early on, where we saw last game the Tusk, sure he can block somebody, but he's not as strong as a reliable stun early on as a Sand King. Plus his epicenter can probably do more work. So.
Disruptor.
Ooh. Mineski going to be going for what feels to be a little bit of a different style of play. Last time it was the pushing out lanes, split pushing them to death, and now it's more team fight oriented from the first 2 picks. Maybe a response to the Sand King, since Sand King is a really great answer for pushing out lanes himself, and now you can maybe punish that by either a glimpse into Static Storm or just Puck coming out of nowhere with a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, they have a lot of ways to really punish them. Also, Puck's pretty good for getting away from the Sand King in the laning phase. If we do assume this is a Puck off lane, it probably starts as a Puck off lane, and then if Clutch Gamers say they pick like a leaner or something, or maybe a Quap, then they can always transition that into a mid lane Puck, and then they can pick up their off lane. So there's a lot of things they can do, and then they could also do maybe a aggro try if they really wanted to. Eventually, if like Clutch Gamers pick some greedy Morphling or something. We haven't seen too many tri lanes as of recent, but can always be there. Obviously, you need to ban. Yeah, they're on their P's and Q's for the Drow. Bat is interesting. Bat is pretty annoying when you're playing Puck at times, but at the same time, Disruptor sometimes can destroy a Bat Rider. But maybe they just don't want to deal with the Bat plus Sand King lane. That can be very scary at times to deal with.
I think also, just like you're talking about, the Silencer Bat Rider initiation, it was something that was really strong throughout the group stages of the Southeast Asian qualifiers, and then kind of fell off a little bit when you got into the playoffs. And particularly we saw Faceless running it a lot, and obviously they didn't end up doing that well towards the end of it all, but it's still something that other teams caught on to as the qualifiers went through as well. I want to mention again for anybody, like we talked about this a little bit last time, but Lucifer from Mineski, a lot of people were saying that this is Ice's second account. A lot of people were saying that he has joined Mineski. I've looked through the Facebook page of Mineski multiple times. I've looked through the Twitter accounts. Everything that anybody has ever said about this player is that his name is just Lucifer. I looked through onto the Dota Buff page, and I've looked through the, the past games that he's played with them through the group stages, and there's nothing to insinuate that he is Ice, with the exception of a couple of things that Ice said when he was streaming, that he might be joining Jabs with his next team. But as we all know, Ice isn't somebody to necessarily take it as word. He's kind of a clown. But
he's moving to China, guys. You heard it here first.
Maybe. We'll see. So we don't know if that's him. I'm just going to keep calling this player Lucifer. You guys can call him what you want, and we'll see how he ends up doing. But Bloodseeker also taken. Man, you look at this. You got the Dream Coil into the Static Storm, into the Blood Right. Boom, they're all dead.
Yeah, there's a lot of magic damage coming out, and then Bloodseeker, if the enemies are low, you get a lot of physical coming in. A lot of run at you, really low cooldown spells. So what you kind of need against a Bloodseeker, it's interesting, right? There's kind of a few ways to play around him. One, you can either get like a tanky hero, like say maybe a Viper or something, put it in the middle there. He doesn't really care if he gets ruptured. Also heroes that can get a mech online early, that can into a Greaves where they can take off the silence, plus they just want to be very tanky, have all that extra armor. It's a pretty good way to counter Bloodseeker. So that kind of playstyle can work. The Naga playstyle is a little bit too slow, I want to say, against Bloodseeker. So it's not necessarily that great. Venomancer against Bloodseeker, it's pretty good. As long as the Veno doesn't get silenced before he's able to cast all of his spells, then he should have a really good time. But having said that, there's 3 silences on the other team. So it can be a little bit difficult for Veno, but at the same time, he doesn't mind too much if the Bloodseeker just runs at him. So it's a good counter rebuttal here. Another silence. Team Silence versus Silencer. Silence versus Silencer. Silence versus...
And they're going to be able to find him every time, too, because you've got Ricky there who can scout things out. Puck's going to be able to be incredibly mobile. Man, 4 silences on the same team.
10 seconds remaining.
This really hurts. I guess. What do you build? Like, do they go like Dragon Knight now? What do you take against this type of a lineup?
Reserve time.
Yeah, the heroes like Dragon Knight can be good. There's, well, since the Wisp, like a good way to counter this kind of strategy too could be a Wisp strategy, but it's already been banned, where you can relocate somebody that's been ruptured and stuff. But they don't really have that. Another way is to get heroes, that are pretty tanky. I like Centaur last game because he was able to farm, get up to a really good, nice timed Ags. So I'm not saying that necessarily Centaur would be great this game, but if you could farm up to it, that could be one another good counter to the silence, especially since Centaur does like building the 4 staffs. You're going to probably need some 4 staffs. You're going to probably need maybe a pipe or something from Clutch Gamers that can help out. CK here, I'm kind of interested to see how this hero works out. It's a hero that can build a BKB. Another approach that Clutch Gamers can do is build BKB heroes, or get BKB heroes that can just, right click, stand there, and then they don't care about the silences.
And it feels like no matter what, BKB is going to be great this game. I guess it does kind of run into some issues later on once you get farm on Mineski, since you have Puck Ags, Disruptor Ags, and then of course Rupture is always really frustrating to play against no matter what. So, yeah, I like it. We'll see how this goes. Other heroes that might be good. It feels like right now
Abaddon. Like Abaddon's pretty good because you can you can take off the Disruptor his Thunderstrike, and then they can't glimpse back. You can also just tank up. That's what you kind of want to do. You want to make sure you just put on the shield, heal them, make sure they don't die. If he gets ruptured as Abaddon too, you can just ulti and then run away from it. You can also have the Blade Mail on where the Bloodseeker is taking damage too. So it's not necessarily too bad of a counter here. But they might want to do...
This is
their... So that's a support CK, it seems like.
Yeah, very different type of draft from Clutch Gamers.
They could be doing dual lanes too, right? They could do like Veno, Sand King bottom maybe or something. CK, Silencer in the safe lane or something. They could do something like that.
Man, and a Medusa last pick for Mushi. The classic, always what you love to see.
It's pretty good against CK, but against Lina, early on, Lina can have a very good time against... Well, like, in the laning phase, Dusa and Lina one-on-one, it's about even. Dusa, as long as she doesn't waste her snakes, she can come out on top. But I feel like Lina can definitely get a lot more kills on the Dusa.
I think that it's going to be Mushi safe lane with Dusa, right?
That's true.
Yeah, Nana's probably going to be playing the puck. The other thing to think about is that new Medusa Axe killing off all the illusions for CK instantly.
Yeah, they're gonna kill off. Also, the blood right. If the blood right gets onto the illusions, they will take a ton of damage. They might just either fall to half HP or die too. So there's a lot of AoE to counter the CK here.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure how this pick is gonna work out.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Wait for it. I'm really curious to see if Mushi does go for that.
Is mid. Told you. Get out of my game, please.
Interesting. I mean, I guess that's just a comfort thing. And then it's going to be actually Nana playing the off-lane Puck instead. Lucifer playing safe lane Bloodseeker.
Yeah, get out of here, Lyrical.
I mean,
get out of here.
I'm a little confused as to why, like, I guess that it's just a classic.
The best lane. It's the best lane matchups that they can do, right? So if you put Dusa in the safe lane, you don't have kill potential as much, right? If you put Bloodseeker in the safe lane, you're like, well, bam, I get instant kill potential because I have this thirst. I can harass the enemy team. I got a 4-man shield. He can't do crap to me.
All right.
That's what it feels like as a Bloodseeker. You know, when you play, you're just like, you feel like you're unkillable, and you can just run at the enemy offlaner all the time because you once you do get to level 2, you can just heal all the time. You can always stay there. And then Puck can beat, like you say, and Puck can beat Lina mid. But at the same time, if they put Puck in the off lane, there's not too much that can really stop the Puck besides the last ward. So. That's
kind of a frustrating interaction too. If I remember correctly, when you last word, that means that you can go for a illusory orb, but you're not going to be able to jaunt to it. Is that correct?
Yeah. You also have to time phase shift perfectly as last word runs out. So if let's say CK is on top of him and he throws a stun. And you pop the phase shift while the thing isn't, or the last word's not completely running out, you're going to get silence right afterwards. So then he can reality you, then the silencer can slow you with his arcane curse, and it can be very problematic for a Puck. This lane is not necessarily fun for a Puck, but it can be doable.
Well, and that's why they're sticking Ninja Boogie up here, I think, is at least for the moment. He can throw down maybe a couple of Thunder Strikes onto Fly Solo, try and keep him away, and then it's a more of a, I don't know, a little bit of an easier matchup.
Right level 1 here, bottom.
Really? Okay. The silence is going to be there onto Venno. It's a good bit of damage, but at least we're going to have to head back and farm a little bit more. I love this skill. It's one of my favorite ones in the game, but I usually end up seeing it used as more like getting that blood rage. Oh, is Rappy just dead? Blood right comes through, damage. Oh, it's there. The level 1 blood right. They never expected. I mean, he knew about it at that point, but still, great play.
Yeah, 18-second cooldown there. Level 1, 100 mana. Goodness gracious. Well, at least they can't do those plays anymore.
Yeah.
That's the good news. Watching Ricky pull is so fun sometimes. Yes. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Just enough.
Bam.
No, Ricky, you couldn't do that.
Right. Yeah, it's actually worth it to take more of it. To not take more of the invis to make sure that he can finish the pull off. As pulling underneath tower now, Gabby trying to deal some damage there. Ninja Boogie, not going to happen, and Nana is just causing issues. The Puck getting a lot out of this lane. But how about mid? How do you feel like this is? Oh God, I guess it's not that bad. It looked bad for a moment. 10-4 versus 7-0 ain't bad.
Yeah. It's where Lina can definitely harass very easily early on, but Mushi just got a really good snake in, so now he's at full mana. He's also got his mana shield up. So it should go in the favor of Lina, like we talked about earlier, but not too heavily. Jabs. Harass.
He's got the boots on both of them, actually, and, well, with this DD, Boombags might be in trouble. He's thinking about going for this. Jabs. Going crazy. He won't take even any tower shots there, as it looks like down in the, or rather up in the top lane, they found Nana. Oh, great play there. Fly Solo hiding off to the side meant that he was able to get that last word off as the orb came out. Well done.
Yeah, that's the annoying part, right? If you mistime your orb and then right as they're casting it, that's the worst feeling. One good thing though is Vino is just not getting too much in this off lane here. Problem is they don't have any mana now on Lucifer, so he can't really do what he wants to right now. Oh, and then Sand King's rotating over. This could be the death of Bloodseeker. Although he is thirsted.
Yeah, we'll see.
So fast. Who's low? Mid lane. Armel gonna go down.
All right, and Jab's also going to die for that one. Lucifer still able to make his retreat, and we'll also have the salve to follow it up afterwards. So they end up trading the 1-for-1, but definitely worth it to kill off that Lina, and I'll keep Lucifer alive as well. They got to be careful here. Still only level 1 on Sand King, so he doesn't have the caustic to get that extra slow. Unfortunate. Might have been able to do something.
Yeah, and they're not really shutting down. So this is the dual lanes that we were thinking that could come out. Man, this are you getting the lag? I'm just
I was getting a couple little every now and then.
Right. I was just making sure. Else I would have reconnected myself. But they were kind of committed to these dual lanes here, and this offlane Vino, it could be very strong, but they need to make sure that Sand King helps them in the bottom lane. So Lucifer getting zoned out pretty well. Once Bloodseeker does get to his level 6, I want to see how they approach this.
Man, that lag is something else whenever it ends up happening. Hopefully it settles down a little bit. There have been little issues every now and then. Boombax gets level 2, has a point now in that caustic. Could turn and actually take this fight, and well, if he's not careful, Jabs might just end up going down. The lag is real, but is not going to be enough to kill off Jabs, it looks like.
So let's see the CS right now. It's going pretty in favor of Mineski right now. Not too heavily, but they are winning their lanes. Puck is getting his levels. He also got an Orb of Venom harassing the CK. Meanwhile, the wraparound, mid lane again, but top still.
Yeah, they're going in. Nana in trouble. Ooh, nicely done there. Able to dodge away from the Burrow Strike and make sure the last sword doesn't do enough damage. That definitely would have been a kill if Boombax caught him there, but Nana makes his way over to the shrine, and he's fine.
If he didn't do that, he would have gotten stunned and silenced. Instead, he just got silenced, but they didn't have any CK stuns left, so they couldn't really get the kill. That's nicely timed. Jabs, once again, roaming Ricky. Super powerful, getting that early kill. Meanwhile, he's going to die probably now. They found him out. They have the blink strike now.
Oh, no way out. Yeah, it's sort of that thing where you want to be able to go for canceling the clarity, and it's nice, but Boombax just ends up going over to the shrine now with Lina and does not end up paying off fully. So a little bit unfortunate for the Ricky there. He's still gotten a lot done, though. I feel like this Ricky pick has been pretty fabulous for Mineski, and now they're going to be able to catch Ninja Boogie in trouble. Last worded, Nana trying to turn something back around. As you mentioned, that Orb of Venom damage is coming through, but instead turns on to fly solo instead of going for the CK. A little bit of an odd choice, and well, we'll see if he can actually find that kill in the end. Gabby is here as well. He turns back around, throws out an Arcane Curse. Fly Solo is going to die. Boombax in the area as well. Ninja Boogie is here. Thunderstrike needs to get it. Can they find the kill? Turn it back around and able to take down that CK. Well done. The Caustic, not nearly enough to be able to find the kill, and now they're going to manage to take down all damn 3 of them. Triple kill for Nana. 6 minutes in.
Bottom lane is ruptured. Mr. Lucifer. Oh, Rappy. My Rappy.
He's going to find a double as well. So 5 kills, a team wipe across the map. Lucifer just barely going to be able to walk away for the moment. Trying to find that kill is not quite there. He does not have enough, though, for the TP yet, and that is going to be the death of him. So they managed to find at least 1 in return. But yeah, team wipe across the map. Not what you want in the laning stage.
Structures are fortified.
Already up 3k gold, 7 minutes, and it doesn't seem like the bleeding is going to stop. They're just getting kills left, right, and center. Nana almost has his level 6, and phase boots already completed on the Ricky. They have these early game items to just completely snowball and help get more kills around the map. So this is, I wonder how Clutch Gamers are going to approach this situation now.
Whoa.
Rappy still low level. He doesn't have max into his play boards yet. They cancel. Nice. Cancel the smoke.
It looks like Boomback's still going to be here, and they get the dust. So Jab's still going to die to this. They Drop the Laguna Blade for him, but now Rupture onto Armel. In trouble. He is going to be pulled back in a second if they want to, and that's going to be enough to deal the extra Rupture damage. Well done by the Disruptor. He might still end up paying for it, but Armel finding the kill. Lucifer is still going to be able to run max movement speed pretty much and finds another one. Double for Lucifer, a little bit of help from his Disruptor, and 10-7. The interesting thing I was going to talk about, the Chaos Knight has actually gone for the 3 into Chaos Bolt. Normally we see like either a maxing Reality Rift because it's, you know, low cooldown and high armor reduction, but I guess wanting to make sure that they get the stuns against Nana.
Yeah, sometimes it's worth it if you're able to. They don't have Glimpse there, so they can't really make the play that they really wanted to. But they would really like to shut down these heroes, and meanwhile,
oh my God,
another kill going on.
There's just too much stuff.
The early Ricky phase boots is just way too much, man. He's done so much in this game. 3-3 and 2 on jabs. This is the perfect Ricky game so far. Even like I'm saying, 3 deaths is still fine considering how many items he has early on here.
Right. Yeah, it's a real problem. And now Rappy is probably just going to get dove under tower. Well, no way to break that TP, so the ultimate counter to Bloodseeker strikes again. Lucifer is still, I mean, it looks like he's going to be going into a Force Staff first, so it's that type of a game, but I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah. It gives you a lot more damage burst. It can save you too. If you see them coming running at you, you can just force stuff away. Especially if the CK is... What is he going? Yeah. I thought he might be going drums. Oh, meanwhile...
Nana in trouble. Will be struck. There's the stun. Long duration, and it is going to end up paying off. And it does not look like they can make a full return kill as Bloodseeker low on mana and did not have Rupture. And still... that sort of ticking time bomb of the Medusa is continuing to get the farm that she wants, and you know, building into taking on these stacks as well. It's a great game for Mushi so far.
Yeah, and the one good thing that did come out of that, let's see if Puck does rotate bottom or what they're gonna do about this. Rappy did get his level 7. Now he has level 3 in play wards. He pretty much can set up shop down here.
Yeah,
and be very annoying. Maybe get this tower soon.
Although Jabs is here too. And a battle brewing out as they're going to be able to take down Rappy. It looks like Nana trying to see if they can make it happen. And it looks like Mushi is going to end up dying. But they will also be able to take down Rappy. So multiple kills going on around the map.
Yeah, that was a 4-man rotation for the mid lane. And
Armel's dead. Yep, disruption. He's going to be able to find it. Global comes out a little bit too late. Gabby's still able to take down one Burrow Strike. Comes out. Lucifer left completely alone. And Fly Solo looking like he is going to almost end up ticking down. He is going to live through that Orb of Venom tick. Lucifer's still in the area. Bloodright coming out. That is going to be the death of the Boomback Sand King. But Lucifer able to back out and get away as Fly Solo is on very low HP. So that movement speed quite high.
Dang, that damage coming in from Blood Rage plus Ricky ulti. We got the new Empower for Ricky.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. Ain't no joke. And I don't know what is going on with the server. Are you still getting all the lag and stuff?
Yeah, it's real fun.
Yeah. Oh, it's fine. I'm sure.
Was I not genuine there? Genuine, however you say it. That's actually another curious thing. How do you say genuine or genuine?
It's genuine. What are you doing?
Genuine?
Yeah.
Sometimes you realize that some people say it differently. Meanwhile,
Boomback super dead. He can get a Burrow Strike off before he dies, but it's not really towards much. And yeah, Static Storm is down. Armel not quite going to be brought down as of yet. Nana chasing though. The Light Strike Array maybe going to be able to find the kill. Takes down one at the very least. But Armel likely to fall as well. Lucifer coming in with the damage. Light Strike Array does end up connecting. Fly Solo barely able to walk away, although still have eyes on him. And should it be going down shortly, Lucifer, he needs to get this kill to be able to heal back up. Has a Force Staff as well. He needs to go for it here. Silence gets the kill and gets a little bit of heals as well for his trouble. But with a pullback in, stun to boot, they take down that Lucifer Bloodseeker. And a hell of a lot of gold going back towards Gabby.
Meanwhile, Mushi just farming his ancients, minding my own business. Already has the Yasha. Highest 2 cores in the game belong to Mineski. A lot of clowny dives going on, but that's how you have to kind of play as a Bloodseeker. You're overpowered early on, and you have to utilize your timings.
Oh my goodness. Well, the plus side for Clutch Gamers is they have a Sand King, and I think that this hero is still, in spite of the slight nerfs that he got to Caustic, one of the strongest heroes at the game at being able to come back with levels, because you can push out waves so effectively, and you've got a decent timing on the Blink Dagger almost no matter what. And oh god, another little jinx as I call out Boomback's in some trouble now. He gets caught by everything, and oh, I'm sorry. I was just talking about how good that hero is.
You didn't say the players, so it's fine. Fly solo is dead solo.
Yeah.
That's just mean.
I was wondering if they were going to be able to catch him, and they certainly do. Wowza. Wowza, wowza.
This is an interesting Bloodseeker build. I can understand it. He wants to have a way to cancel TPs. Plus, it's pretty strong against the Lina. Ooh.
Nice.
Gives vision.
She moved a little bit. Oh, it wouldn't have mattered anyways. They came in with the Sentry Wards. Well, Force Staff
really
Gaming.
Well
yeah. And Gabby not going to be able to catch onto the Disruptor. Pulls back in. Lucifer only a 2-second stun, but with Rappy here as well. A lot of damage being dealt out. Still not going to be able to bring him down as of yet. It looks like they want to fight their way out of this one. Global comes out. There's the TP. We'll see if he's going to be able to live through it. Does have the Fountain regen. We'll keep our eyes on him there while we see the rest of them fall down. Nana is going to die, and looks like with that ulti coming out, it's into a Medusa. Boomback's going to die to the right clicks. And Bloodseeker lives through it all.
Welcome
as 2 will jabs.
Snakes to the face. So who's the ultimate snake person? So Vino, is it a guy or a girl? I don't know. But Medusa, reigning queen. Looks like she's going to be taking, not necessarily this game, but she's 3k up on the other snake man, question mark. And then here comes another smoke gank. They're just making as much space as they can for Mushi right now.
Oh man, and this is gonna be really hurting Gabby. Sad, sad Gabby. Blood Ray, he just doesn't know where to go. He's like, what do I do? They just keep running at me. Lucifer is gonna take a silence to the face, but it really doesn't matter. I have no way to chase him. And the whole time through, Jabs is also scouting it out. They get the dust. He does have tricks of the trade afterwards. Trying to stay alive, jumps forward, catches on a fly solo, slow down for the moment, tricks as well, and the Thunder Strike secures the kill. They even take down the Plague Ward up on the high ground, and now Boomback's going to be controlled. He's going to be ran down. Courier might even end up going down as well. Boomback is going to live for the moment, but finally going to be brought down as Ninja Boogie just saunters away, and the tower is going to fall.
Yeah, this is like the worst kind of game you want to be in. When you think of like a Ricky, you kind of feel like it's a bounty hunter in a sense where if you... Oh, Lucifer. Nice Force Staff down. That's why you buy Force Staff.
Yeah.
You kind of think of a Ricky as a bounty hunter in a way where you kind of go around, get vision, you go to team fights, and you kind of win, and then you get this early mech, help buff other team. Well, Ricky's kind of like the same way where you're just buffing yourself up until you get that defusal, then you just go around, solo killing, but the tempo control is still there for both of the heroes, and that's basically what we're seeing right now. Jabs on his way to a defusal, 1/4 the way there, and this is, I don't know how they're gonna survive once Ricky has a defusal.
Oh, well, they aren't quite gonna connect on the dust there as Jabs gets the blink strike away. Boomback's going to be able to get a lot of gold here from the caustic and everything else, but still a ways away from that blink dagger. This is... They need this form of initiation so badly to take a fight because everybody from Clutch Gamers right now is, or rather from Mineski right now, is so mobile or impossible to kill in the case of Medusa.
And they got the Blood Rage. I don't want to say Blood Rage. Blood Rage Mushi farming. Oh, this is disgusting.
Yeah, that's good. So has the health regenning as well as the damage increase. And now they've been able to catch on to 2. That's a Dream Coil. Blood right to follow. They get the global silence out. But that's global down for the cost of a Dream Coil, which is back up in a minute.
Yeah, when you're using the Dream... or the global for defensive purposes, it feels like the game's not necessarily lost, but you're tremendously far behind. It just feels like they can't do anything. Their only forms of initiation are CK and Sand King in this game. CK or Sand King still needs another 1,000 gold.
Uh-oh. Boombacks.
Blink, yeah, but yep.
Everybody. I mean, and this is the thing too. It's like you have so many different avenues to mess with these guys. A 4-second Sun Bushi, but it just doesn't matter. And now they've caught the Sand King as well. Like, not only are you going to have the Force Staffs with the double Rupture going into play for the Bloodseeker, but also even just the Glimpse coming in from Disruptor. We've seen that be a source of damage a couple of times for Rupture as well.
You're just seeing the lack of... It feels like the lack of... Oh, Curry.
Thinking about it, but not going to go for it. And they keep on scouting out these areas. Like, Fly Solo, he drops down a ward, which Jabs now realizes is there because he saw how many were there, I think. He should realize as well. Maybe he baits out another ward? Yeah, he's silenced. All right, that hurts. That really hurts. You want to do so much more than that. You drop down 2 sentry wards in full view of everybody, and now Armel, long TP, but does not end up getting brought down and punished for it. They come back in again. Glimpse away. They're not going to catch the Disruptor, at least for now. Ninja Boogie finally going to die, but it forces a lot of rotations back for it. So something going for Clutch Gamers is they get the pick off on the Disruptor.
Nice, +2. That's what they needed.
Yeah.
They're gonna need a lot more of that, though. Boombacks is probably the most important hero right now. He's 1-8-6. That is not a good storyline or a scoreline.
Oh, they caught Jabs, but Mushi is now here, and you don't want to run into that. Oh, she got the Stone Gaze off before they ended up getting Global out, and now in a lot of trouble. Clutch Gamers, I don't think that they're going to actually end up losing anybody here unless Boombacks overstays. Looks like Jabs might be the one to go down, so they were able to find that kill onto him. Important one for sure. Now Boombacks about to be out of mana. Nope, he ends up not being able to get caught by a snack. If they could kill him off here, Lucifer and Mushi, this would be huge. The Static Storm is down. Rappy's still alive, and we'll be able to get out one more round. That's going to be a dead Mushi. Huge pickup. Nana also jumping into the midst of all of them. He's not going to be taken down, but Rappy has killed off both of the cores that were top of the net worth. Clutch Gamers making the plays. And maybe going to kill off Nana as well if he's not careful. I think that Nana's out of there.
Well, that's what happens when the Ricky's dead. It feels like Ricky's been setting up all these kills with scouting first and then being disrupted with his cloud and ultis. But he went down first, and then they try to turn it with a good disruptor ulti, but they didn't have enough damage to really take down the CK. And the CK is pretty tanky. He's got about 2,500 HP when he turns on the armlet. He's going to be going for that BKB next. So
yeah.
They definitely need to make sure they take him down. And that's going to be their timing, kind of like back into this game for Clutch Gamers. If they are able to get this BKB up, they might have a better time of sustaining CK, making sure he doesn't die.
I mean, and you also have Lina now that just finishing off the Bloodstone a little while ago, now is going to have Shadowblade completed. So there's a lot going into their favor right now. It's going to have that 50 damage talent completed. Armel can kill probably anybody on the map if you end up finding him with the Shadowblade and the jump down bottom. They have been able to catch Puck. Now silence. That's not what you want. They find the reality of 4-second stun, and they get that very important kill. Clutch Gamers really starting to roll now as they're hitting their stride.
Yep, just a little bit panic there for the Puck. He used the phase shift when he was there, and then you could just see how that kind of screws up everything. He couldn't blink. He could have blinked away, but just a little bit caught off guard by the silencer coming from the force there, maybe.
Now you can see also Armel trying to hunt in the jungle a little bit. The Shadowblade is going to be there, and it is going to be revealed now, I believe. We'll see if Mineski happened to click on Armel while he was down there, but it looks like they want to try and go for a different pickoff play. Maybe going to head up towards the north to see if they can find Lucifer.
This is an interesting game for Lina because we'll hold this. They do have eyes on Lucifer.
He actually
Not gonna
ruptured the
catch
Sand King, but wasn't able to get him below that thirst threshold. So Force Staff doesn't work if you don't have vision. Who knew?
Lucifer's gonna be sad. He's gonna buy dust. He's gonna be like, "All right, Sand King, I'm gonna make you my best friend. You're not gonna escape anymore."
But it looks like also Clutch Gamers want to try and take the fight to Mineski now and really put the pressure on. Everybody's starting to show up, although Jab's still not there and actually doesn't even have mana to TP in. So if the fight breaks out in the next couple of minutes, this could be really good for Clutch. Looks like they're going to back out, though, not wanting to pressure it.
Bex, please help the god. I mean the man. Please help him. Please. He's almost there. 50 gold, sell your wand. I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
He'll have it soon. And the only unfortunate thing is this is going to be timed with Ricky getting his Diffusal Blade. Oh, no. If they catch Armel right now... Oh, no. They're heading up this direction. It looks like there is a call to head mid. Lena's not there at the start.
Illusion.
Well, and Venno. Maybe the one that gets caught out here? Nope. Not going to find him yet. And we do have Force Staffs on a lot of these heroes for Clutch to make sure that Ricky can't just solo them.
Dire's middle tower is under
Well, they're in a pretty good position right now from CG. They got the Sentry Ward up here. They know they're kind of wrapping around here, so Rappy's in a good position.
Dire's middle
But
tower is
because they're
under
playing
attack.
so defensively, this should be a free
Radiant's
tower.
top tower is under attack.
Well, maybe going to look to try and initiate. They smoked up with the Lena at least. And the Blink Dagger reveal could be coming now. Mineski, where are they going? Are they really going to go into Roshan right now? There's no way that that's the play. They're still looking for that opening. Mushi Blood Raged. It feels like Mineski realized what's happening as well. And they're playing it safe. Like, Gabby can just keep on farming for a little while. Almost towards that BKB. Has it completed now. And it looks like they want to try and secure a tower of their own.
Well, when they do that now, that opens up Roche.
Yeah. Oh, Boombacks. All right, they're TPing in. Gabby does have a TP, so he can get there as well. How about the rest of them? TP is there for the Silencer as well. They're all getting in a position. It's a little bit late.
He already used the Glimpse, too, to try and send the Sand King back.
Okay, there's one. They connect. Roshan still dropping low. Mushi's getting bashed, but they're not there. They're not all in position, and Global comes out, but Roshan is already down and now trying to secure a fight. This is not necessarily the one that they're going to want to Burrow Strike connects onto two. Sandstorm's out as well. Static Storm is down, and Lucifer is going to drop a great fight so far, but now Big Bad Mushi is going to be there in charge. Nana's brought down as well. Gabby trying to Arma toggle and get away from it for the moment. Armel manages to take down Ninja Boogie, and now Mushi is left completely alone. Clutch Gamers, it's been a fabulous fight, and Rappy able to Force Staff off to the side as well, and Boombacks with an opening in just a couple of seconds. They take down yet another triple kill for Armel, and everybody with the exception of that CK gets out. Now we're going to end up probably losing Boombacks unless there's a Light Strike Array. Not quite bringing down Nana yet. Mushi still lives with the Aegis. So
that was really good for Clutch Gamers, all things considered. Like you said, that was a really amazing fight. They used all their dots, and Vino was able to survive during the whole team fight. The BKB was there for CK. They really couldn't control him. If they didn't have the BKB there on the CK, Ricky would have just completely destroyed him with his Diffusal Blade and hunted him down. And then now you're going to see the importance of what Mushi's building next is the Scotty. He can't allow the CK to run away anymore.
Yeah.
So once they get the Scotty, the team fights might change up a little bit. And it might be a lot harder for the CK or whoever to try and run away.
Nana, having just bought back, is going to be killed off by Armel. Wow. And Armel has a regen as well, so he can just go right back into doing what he was doing before. Ooh, doggy. That is a quick turnaround. Like, you look at it now, they're not even a grand above Clutch Gamers after such a significant lead at the start.
Dust on Ricky. Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh, Lucifer. Not quite going to get caught. Boombacks. He is in trouble. Yeah, and he's dead now. Also, the tricks of the trade is there. Do they have any reveal? They have that Sentry Ward down. Jabs, the quick finger is able to get away. Lucifer lifting up with the Yule Scepter means that Gabby can't chase. So great combos from Mineski, and now they pull back in another. Fly Solo drops the global, turns to fight. Is this the play that they actually want to go for, though? They pull back in one. Mushi, though, able to get off that ulti, and that stops everybody in their tracks. Lena's still stunned, trying to Shadow Blade away. The dust is barely going to connect, and now Gabby going to be able to back out of there. Will they be able to escape with Lena, though? It looks like it is not going to happen.
Suicide?
Not happening.
Well, that's a pretty big misplay coming in from Armel. He should have suicided there after the TP got canceled. And that's just giving over a pretty big kill streak. That's really well played from Mineski, and a little bit unfortunate from Clutch Gamers. You can't go on Mushi like that. When you see him there, you have to find a way to disengage, go around him, do something else. Silencer, maybe he shouldn't have ultied there, but they really wanted to try and fight. But he had Aegis still, and you're going on a Dusa, so it didn't work out.
I think it's exactly what you're saying right there with the Silencer in particular. Like it felt like when he got glimpsed back in, he was just like, all right, well, we're all here. Let's just fight. But you can't really do that against the Aegis. Maybe a little bit of... I mean, really, if you think about what these two teams are, it's experience from Mineski versus the newcomers with Clutch Gamers that have had some LAN experience but not had success at that LAN experience. And showing that presence of mind right now by Mushi and the Mineski guys.
He don't even care about the Vino wards. He's like, yep.
I mean, the Venom...
You're not touching... They're not even touching you.
Yeah.
Now,
it's just not working. Okay, well, Lena is trying to get the split push going at the same time, but with Mushi now also having that 600 mana talent, I mean, it feels like you even need to think about like investing. Yeah, and it's going to be Gabby going for a Diffusal Blade on CK. This feels like it has to be the answer, but even that's not great.
Yeah. Normally there's, back in the day, like 2-3 years ago when Medusa was quite often picked. Oh, speaking of that, solo kill onto Lena, and that's the problem when Lena doesn't have a BKB.
Look at this.
You need a BKB when you're against the, he's going Lincoln's? I guess, I'm not a fan of Lincoln's here. Although Lincoln's is pretty good against the Bloodseeker with his Rupture. I guess you need Lincoln's and BKB this game.
This is so discouraging. I mean, look at it. It feels like they just broke them. Like, Clutch Gamers, they just lost their Lena in front of 4 of their own heroes, and now you're going to end up probably losing Gabby as well off the back of this. He pops his BKB for this, and now the 3 heroes that were around you are all dead as well. Clutch Gamers, that fight in mid where Silencer ended up dying, and then they globaled for it, it is all fallen apart. Whatever momentum they had, it was not working.
Now you're going to force CK to buy back, and once he buybacks, he doesn't get his next item, and he needs his next item to keep up with the Dusa.
Yeah. It really feels like everything is sort of falling apart after that nice little blip of good play that was coming out from Clutch Gamers. Now they're back up against the ropes, and I mean, that fight that we were talking about down there where you're talking about the BKB, it was Armel dying in front of 4 of his own heroes to a Disruptor and a Riki. Like, if your position 4 and 5 can pick off your mid with no response, I don't know. That's really bad.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Ryuu, I think that Clutch Gamers lost.
Hey, don't give up. There's still hope. Oh, sorry about not having to go back to the point. So 3 years ago, I won't leave you guys hanging. So like 3 years ago when Medusa was picked up, and when Necro books were a thing, if anybody remembers that. Okay, we're going to hold this point again because the huge fight is going to happen.
They found one. Stun and death. They found a kill.
Is Roche up? Roche is not up. Not even close.
Yeah.
So even though they get this one kill, probably can't transition into anything. Maybe a tier 2? I don't know. That's kind of stretching it. They have a lot of defense, right? They have the snake. They have the blood right. It's kind of hard to push.
Yeah, I mean, they're just like, it feels like they're very desperate to make stuff happen, and it's going to be the death of him here, at least for Fly Solo, as he is going to be force staffed. He drops global yet again. Is this really the fight that you want to take, though? I don't know. I guess the idea there is that he was going to be dead for a long time anyways, so might as well global, but he didn't have buyback. I don't know.
All right, so one thing that we can learn together, everyone, after watching his last 2 deaths in Silencer is let the Sand King ward, right? You have at least 3 escape mechanisms for Sand King. You really need to position yourself in the back lines of Silencer, and he's died twice now trying to ward. This time he did get off the ward, last time he didn't. So by placing his team into these bad positions when they're trying to push or just trying to get some wards, that's and they don't even have Silencer ulti now once again for the next team fight. Yeah. That's like the worst part about it all.
And the thing that's so like confusing about that too is that it was a Silencer ult. Like, he had a long time to think about, do I ulti there or not? But still, it's going to be back up in a minute. Maybe not the worst play ever. It doesn't look like Mineski are going to be able to get too much off of that. I guess the big thing is that they don't have to worry right now about anything, really. Mineski don't have to because there's no global to be a follow-up for a kill. I don't know. The other thing we haven't really talked about or touched on is that Mushi is so ridiculously farmed this game. He has Butterfly now on top of everything else and is sitting 5,000 net worth next to the next highest. And oh, there is going to be a silence immediately. BKB comes out. Lucifer still dropping low and is going to end up dying to this. That's a good combo that came out, but he is still ruptured. And now Mushi starting to deal the damage on to Fly Solo. They are not quite going to be able to take down Jazz. Actually does finally fall. And now Armel also coming back in for some more damage. Can they find something off the back of this? Armel goes down. Mushi is too large. He was never really touched, and Nana can go for a chase here if he wants to under Rappy. He's low on abilities, but nonetheless, it's still 3 dead for Mineski with 3 dead for Clutch Gamers. A good fight, but they don't have an answer for Mushi.
Yeah, and that was the perfect situation, right? You don't go on to the Dusa, you kill everybody else. The Diffusal chased down the Bloodseeker. He wasn't able to do anything. He wasn't able to get off 1 rupture, and that was pretty much the perfect fight for them, and they still couldn't really do anything. So you're going to have to wonder now. I guess the perfect fight situation for them is going to have to revolve around Venomancer getting off his Gale and slowing down the Medusa and just kiting around the Dusa that way, right? You put the Gale on him, you put the Veno wards on him, try to make sure that the Dusa is out of the team fight. That is their best play, it seems like, and if they can't do that, then they're going to lose the team fight because Mushi, like we just saw, Mushi's going to go ham on people.
Yeah. It's a real problem, and has the 2-second Stone Gaze stun as well. He didn't end up going for the Aghanim Scepter, and I think that's probably the right play this game because he is just that #1 carry. He needs to go for damage rather than the sort of more utility-oriented killing off CK Illusion build. But a DD up here at the top rune spot. And maybe, just maybe, it's going to be time for them to really start doing scary stuff. Silencer. Oh, they found him. Fly Solo completely alone.
Ulti.
And completely
slow. Too soon?
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's tough. It's a really hard game for them at this point, and you can kind of see that there's maybe a little bit of tilt settling in as well.
Yeah, Rupture Roche. All right, that's just being a dick now.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen that.
Yeah, same.
Do you think that Medusa should have taken the Aegis? I kind of feel like it would have been better to give it to somebody else. Like, Mushi's not going to die, right?
Well, she can die because she's going to have the Blood Rage on her, right, when she's sieging.
Okay.
So she's going to take a lot more damage, and then...
Ooh. Big fight though, maybe. Gabby coming in, has found Ninja Boogie. It's a good way to start it. 3-second stun. Rupture is there though. Boomback's able to connect on a Bloodseeker. There's going to be the Global out as well, but they're all in a hell of a lot of trouble because Mushi is now out, has that ulti done. That's going to be another kill. Now they come in yet again. Gabby trying to contain him, trying to kill him, but it's not nearly enough. That is going to be Nana dead. Armel though, being contained for the moment by Jabs, and we'll have another Diffusal Blade charge if he wants to use it. Armel into the Light Strike, great. Able to dodge that. TP's out. Do they have a way to break it? Doesn't look like it. But nonetheless, Fly Solo is looking in trouble yet again as the Snake Lady is chasing him down, trying to juke through the trees. Jukes the other way. Yeah, it's not nearly enough. Fly Solo is just dead.
That was really funny to watch as Lucifer tried to heal during the creeps. He had the Vino ulti on him, just taking so much damage. And then he just dies. So that's a good thing, right? When Bloodseeker dies like that, it feels like they can't really go high ground. Plus the Bloodstone charges on the Lina. Even when she does die, she does come back a little bit faster. They weren't able to really kill off the Lina, so it's really hard for them to go high ground right now. But when it's back up, I suspect them they should go high ground. Like Mineski right now, they should just immediately go down mid. They're gonna have both of their ruptures up. Yeah, they have both of their ruptures up. That remember how they ruptured Roche there? Maybe not the best idea. Could have had 2 during that team fight. And then now the Silencer ulti's on cooldown. Sand King ulti's on cooldown. Although the Sand King ulti is pretty much back up now because it's been so long.
Yeah. I mean, and the other thing too that's becoming more scary also is Medusa just finished off the Bloodthorn. So once the Aegis does end up either being used, which seems unlikely at this point in the game, or it just ends up expiring once we get to that in about 2 minutes and 45 seconds, you'll have that extra bit of damage that causes even more trouble.
I wonder if I'm Medusa in this
top
situation.
tower is under attack.
I wonder if I don't switch out my Lincolns right now just for the Bloodthorn first. Because it gives you more damage, although the survivability and the mana from Lincoln's is nice, but the Bloodthorn, I guess it's not necessarily needed. But
Oh god. But look at, I mean, they can do whatever they want. Mushi is not going to die the second time at the very least. He gets the Manta style off, another stun. The silence is going to be there as well. Global comes out. You know, Puck trying to Yules and get away. Does look like he's going to be fine for the moment. And Boomback's Epicenter, everything dropped onto Mushi. And it looks like finally they will take the Aegis. But now what do you do? What the hell are you going to do? This is still Mushi. Very large, very in charge. They drop that Poison ulti as well and trying to kill him off. Mushi pops the ulti. Lucifer turned back around, shows up, trying to run down Rappy. And well, he does have the Yule Scepter to lift him up, take him down. And now in more trouble, Static Storm has dropped. Mushi almost dead. Are they going to be able to kill him off? They finally do. 900 gold to everybody. And if somehow, some way, Gabby can live through this, a great team fight for Clutch Gamers. I did not think at all they were going to be able to find that kill on Mushi, but ends up working out. And no buyback?
Yeah, no buyback because of that Bloodthorn. They weren't able to get that rack secured either. Ooh.
Jabs is there. Just a casual Dragon Slave would have killed him, but
That's the hilarious part too, right? And then, so this is kind of what we're talking about now. Mushi, the thing is with Vino here, because he doesn't have a Force Staff, he's just kind of stuck in place right there, right? He's just constantly hitting, but he has all these dots on him, right? You have the Vino dots, you have the Silencer dots coming in, and then you have Lina just wailing on you from far away because of the attack range bonus. So even though Mushi's there, he's not actually hurting anybody.
right.
Because he's just taking so much damage and he's just trying to hit these buildings. So he's not killing anybody, but he's dying kind of slowly. So I want to maybe see a better way to initiate. Last time they used both of their shrines. So this time they don't have the shrines to work with. And that was a big factor in determining why they won that team fight, because there was a good ruptures coming out from Lucifer on 2 heroes, but they just couldn't follow up afterwards because of the shrines.
And I guess that's another point that we could have made it. Imagine if that push went through the top lane or the bottom lane where there aren't those extra shrines there. Then suddenly the team fight probably looks a lot better for them. Nonetheless, Mushi still sitting quite high up in terms of the net worth. Hasn't put his Bloodthorn back in there. It's finally there, but Yeah, maybe you need to wait now for another round of Roshan as a possibility, or if you don't, there's a chance you end up finding a couple pickoffs. Otherwise,
yeah, there's no buybacks right now. If you look, 42 minutes in the game, you almost never see this. So if anyone dies right now, this could be game. That's the scary part. Well, fly solo.
Oh god. Yeah, it's time to back out. Oh, yeah, they might be able to do something here now, and oh, Boombacks, they're all there. A lot of damage. Disruptor dead. Have they actually done this, though? Armel very low for the moment, is going to get blown up. And as you said, no buyback. But they're still controlling Mushi for the moment. And Gabby needs to turn away, keep those illusions alive as long as possible. Rappy's still alive. He's ruptured for the most world. Ends up turning back a little bit too soon. And now with the Bloodthorn there, Boombacks also in trouble. They're both in stunned form from the Stone Gaze coming out from Mushi. But Mushi is now out of mana. He's going to be pulled back in. Start to be dropped back down. They get the long duration stun. They're all going to die with no buyback. No, Mushi does have it, but he's still dead for 90 seconds. That is such a huge combination of kills. And now you're level 25, so the siege is going to come even that much quicker from Veno because of those wards.
Yeah, that heart is doing work now, coming in from Gabby.
Yeah, take a moment to think about that. Figure out what's going on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, this utility build Blood Seeker now, you can see how it's kind of a little bit clowny. Imagine if he had a BKB plus some right-click damage items. How, could he be more effective in these team fights? And is this utility Seeker going to be a hindrance? We were kind of like thinking, oh, well, Ricky, wow, he's had such an amazing start to this game. He got a really fast Diffusal Blade, but he didn't really do much in this last team fight. And they needed the BKB kind of like on the Bloodseeker, where he's just able to withstand all these stuns, go in, right click, and it's just becoming a problem now. So, and another problem that we will talk about, since the game's gonna be paused forever potentially, the Vino, like you said, level 3 with his level 25 talent. Also, just the Ags. Yeah, the Ags in that last team fight. Just so much damage pumped out. It's really hard. They have to either all commit on the Vino, but they don't really have that lockdown, right? They don't have a sheep stick or something. They don't have a Chaos Bolt of their own. They don't have a 4-second stun. So I'm trying to figure out their solutions, right? You want to try and blow up the Vino before he gets his Ags off, right? But yeah. How do they do that? They focused Lina in this last team fight, which was good. They got the Lina kill, but then they let CK and Venomancer run free.
Right. And that's the thing. I mean, even though they ended up turning back around and getting stunned by that long duration Stone Gaze, it didn't end up mattering. Clutch Gamers are going to back out for the moment. Roche at least a minute away, and I feel like they need to stay here. Like, you've got to get something from this. At the very least, the tier 2 tower, if not more than that. And Armel's showing up. They tried to glimpse, but the Lincoln Sphere, I guess that's the other part of this now. There's still a minute before they're even able to respawn Roche, so... DD Rune, maybe it's time to go. If they can kill off Mushi again, they force the buyback. It would be tremendous. Man.
So, Medusa here, I'm kind of curious to see if she'll replace any of her items. It'd be really nice to have a Satanic Undusa this game. She needs to find some ways to heal up in these team fights. There's just too many damage over time stuff.
Oh, hold on. This is the wraparound. The one thing about Mushi on a Medusa, he is not very fast, and they have full vision of all of this. They see the jabs is there. They've been able to catch Mushi. He's away from the rest of his team. The Static Storm is already down. Nana's out, though, and he's going to try and break up this combination, but they have so much damage onto Mushi. He's able to get off his ulti, though, and now trying to run away. Silence for the moment. They have the epicenter. They took him down. Mushi's dead for 2 minutes. Clutch Gamers possibly doing it. Fly Solo, who was hurt down so bad for so long, is finally dealing damage. 3 are dead. And this potentially could be game if they're not good. Armel, he is going to get ran around at by Nana. We'll see if they can catch up to him in time. It doesn't look like it, but they will have another creep wave here, and they need one of these creep waves to be at the base.
This is the rat plays. We got to get in there. Got to help. Got to do whatever we can.
Yeah, they're trying. They want to push these out as badly as possible, but
Radiant's top tower.
I mean, with 70 seconds still with no Medusa, Gabby is going to have another Phantasm. They can just run in and hit the tower. Like, maybe even think about going for tier 4s potentially if they want to. And Bloodright is there, but it doesn't do a whole hell of a lot against a Heart CK. They jump in, they try and break this out. Silence is there as well. They are going to get the Rupture onto Gabby. Still, he's fine. Double Rupture, double the fun. Fly Solo left alone. And the glimpse back, that might be the death of him. They actually managed to kill off the Silencer with that. So now that's a full lane of Barracks dead. They need more, though. I really feel like they need more. Maybe it's just Roshan, and that's enough.
Yeah. They don't necessarily need more because they, like you said, yeah, they should just go back for Roche, secure it, because they don't have Silencer. And then this is looking like Coach Gamer's game to lose now because it's just Mushi's already max slotted. He already wasted buyback. He doesn't necessarily have any more lives to work with now because Aegis is gone. And then just not having the right-click Bloodseeker is just hurting them. They don't have any ways to really take off these silence ulti now too, right? Yeah. So you have this Yules, on the Puck and the Bloodseeker, but by the time you use the Yules on yourself, if you want a team fight, the team fight's kind of like already over, right? If you want to use any of your spells or anything, Ricky can't. He doesn't have a way to cancel it. Disruptor doesn't. So they're fighting these team fights without able to use spells because Silencer's actually staying in the back now. He's not dying. He's not using his ulti incorrectly anymore. So they're winning these team fights. And they just need to have like these BKBs on Bloodseeker and maybe some Lotus Orbs or something. But yeah, it's not going to be anywhere in sight because they planned to finish this game like 15 minutes ago for Mineski. But since it didn't work out, they are looking like they're going to lose this game.
I mean, that's the big thing, too. I think that it's important. A lot of people could look at this game and say, you know, oh, Mushi's dying, Mushi's throwing, whatever. That's not really the case. It's much more that they just can't win a team fight because they've invested so heavily into him being the only damage dealer at this point. And I mean, you can Rupture Gabby here. I don't think he cares at all. He has a Heart and Aegis. Like, he's going to be back up to full HP in no time. And all of this
BD
build
here.
All right, they pop global. Gabby turning to fight, but Mushi is going in. Can the Stone Gaze be enough to keep everybody alive for the moment? Lots of damage being dealt out. Armel in trouble. The epicenter comes out from Boombacks. Lucifer ends up getting stunned. Long duration.
Wow,
Gabby is there trying to bring him down, but it's not quite enough. Armel still dead. Jules looks like he is going to end up dying as well. Ninja Boogie and Nana facing off against Fly Solo and Rappy. Can they bring him down? With Mushi coming in the DD, they need to get out of here. Still the pullback in. Gabby trying to do what he can, but he's being slowed down. Gonna be killed off, most likely. Rupture is not there, but that's only the first death. And now Mineski need to back out. So Bloodseeker done for 70. You're also gone with the Ricky for 70 seconds. They burned through the Aegis.
So many gems on the ground. Is he gonna die for this? Ninja. It's so slow. The slows coming in from the Vino wards feels bad. But yeah, that's like the dream situation. A DD rune. Mushi trying to save the game. They all went on Mushi again.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you look juicy this time, but his teammates were kind of there to back him up. They didn't really get a clean initiation because he was able to get off that Stone Gaze before they did anything to him. And that was pretty much the difference maker. Stone Gaze getting off and the DD.
Right. Well, and maybe that's also something in a little bit where you end up having a Halberd almost done for the CK, or rather SK. He's not actually almost done with it, but that's the next item he's building towards. And that's one of those that can also make all the difference. If you have all of this net worth invested, 34,000 of it into a Mushi Medusa, and he's not able to attack, it feels pretty bad.
Yeah, and he can easily just cancel it too. All he has to do is he can blink in, Yules him, and then stun, and then halberd, and then rip.
Yep. We're almost at some more of these level 25s. Ricky's still a little ways away from his. Puck has the 420 GPM, which is always nice to see. Anything else that's really important? Reality Rift piercing spell immunity. It's nice. I do wonder, since there is few BKBs, if it would matter, but it'll be helpful in the later stages of the game as well.
Yeah, maybe they go BKB or something on Bloodseeker eventually. you would think he'd still eventually get a BKB, so he could cast spells during the global. But
Right.
Bloodseeker almost has his level 25, which should be the Blood Right cooldown. That goes from 12 to 5, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
When they have maybe 2 or 3 of those in a team fight.
It can be a little bit. I mean, I think he has enough mana regen items, but the one issue that sometimes players will have with that is actually having enough mana to spam it, because it does, like, it's 100 mana, and you don't have the biggest mana pool in the world, and you just have it up so often. But he should be okay, particularly since he's going back for Octarine next.
Yeah, with this build, he should be fine. It'd be interesting to see what he goes after Octarine. Is he gonna go like Dagon 5, the ultimate spellcaster seeker?
Yeah. Ooh. Now the wraparound, fly solo. He ends up catching him there. There's the Burrow Strike. Holding on to Mushi for the moment. Jabs. He is going to be caught out by the Riki, and now the Rupture there as well. Global Silence. They don't quite manage to catch onto that Riki, though, and now trying to back away. Mushi left away from the rest of his team, but he's doing a ton of damage to all of them. Static Storm down as well. The CK is in a hell of a lot of trouble. He's dropping in no ages this time around. They can't quite kill off Mushi. They're trying to do it, and they finally have been able to bring him down with Armel, but the rest of the heroes have been able to pick up the slack now. Rappy in trouble, under fire. They're all running at him, and he's going to get lifted up. Eul Scepter done. He's already used his ulti, and, well, there's not a whole lot left that he can do in this fight, except for throwing down a couple more Plague Wards. Boombacks can still keep these lanes pushed out, but everybody on his team is dead.
That's pretty good. Oh, nice. They got it. This is another gem. Oh, he predicted that he'd go that way.
Nice.
He's done. Doesn't matter. He's dead. No mana.
Well done. So
gems. How many gems is that? Do they have more gems in their base? Oh, they lost a courier, too. So 5 heroes, a courier, 2 gems. Wow, 9 pretty much for Mineski there, except for the Mushi dying, unfortunately.
Right.
But they can force maybe 1 or 2 buybacks. Yeah.
Venno's going to throw down some wards and hope to be the only one that's forced into the buyback. As far as other buybacks across the board, you can see that pretty much everybody is going to have it at this point, or going to be back up.
Back there. I don't think Sand King needs to buy back there.
Yeah. Maybe the idea is that they figured Mineski were going to push, and if you're going to buy back, it's better to buy back early since this game is probably going to go on for a long time.
Yeah, that's wishful thinking. But I can understand maybe he just doesn't want to lose this game. This game does have... You don't want to go into the lower bracket automatically, and they still haven't won a game. They need a win.
Yeah.
Need some motivation here. So, some good things that came out of that team fight. Let's look what's happening here. The Puck, with his level 25, he actually has items starting to build up. The Ags is pretty useful in these situations. So you have Ags on the CK, the ulti with Puck, and you have the Blood Seeker Rupture. If you're playing CK this game, it feels like you're not moving.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it was fun playing my hero. I'm just going to stand still for about 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's not what you want to have happen. And I think that probably at this point, like, Clutch Gamers, if they do eventually get to the point where they're pushing in lanes, I don't know if Mineski can really stop them.
Mushi doesn't have Manta here. This could be very bad. They're smoked up now, but he doesn't have a way to get out of Silencer ulti.
Yeah, they need to wait for that.
The Hurricane Pike, though, if you did mention that, instead of any boots.
Right. More ways
so not the fastest, but he has the butterfly to move around at least.
Yeah, and I think that right now it's like if Mineski can get into that position again where they're pushing down a lane, that's obviously the best case scenario, but it's hard to make that work. So passing by the Venno wards, they're still smoked up. It is going to wear off in a little while. Nana runs out. He's been able to find one. Rappy is there as well. Global Silence comes out. And they are going to have to call it off for the moment. Jabs, he's found Fly solo. No way to get out of this one for the moment. He's still going to be controlled there and looking to try and chase him down, but Ninja Boogie just gone in an instant. And now they need to be careful, the rest of Mineski, because you do have the full ulti out and available. Mushi is very slow as to go for that flutter speed, so that means he's not moving that quickly. Armel ends up getting caught for the moment, but the rest of them are off to the other side. That's a hell of a lot of damage going out, and Armel is dead for 80 seconds. No buyback. Stone Gaze is about to wear off now, though, and Gabby pops the BKB, turns to fight on Imushi. The illusion's draining all the mana, dealing the damage, and finding the kill. 90 seconds with the buyback available. There's the Yule Scepter lift up, pulling him back in. Nana in trouble. Can they kill him off? Gabby also under fire, as he is going to be able to armlet toggle away from this one for the moment. They don't quite catch jabs. But in the meantime, Rappy took down Lucifer on the south side of the engagement. So final tally is 3 dead for Mineski. Clutch Gamers win that team fight, but it's hard to push.
Yeah. Without having the Lina, it feels like it's really hard to push unless you have the CK ulti up. But you're going to most likely use that in all the team fights. And then you also just have all these heroes that have Buta travel now, and they're just going to these lanes, pushing them out. It's very hard for teams to push even after they win these team fights. So this is looking like we're in for the long haul and trying to figure out who is going to have that better late game here. It's going to be very interesting to see how things work. Silencer still only has 1 item basically for 56 minutes. I mean, he does have some utility stuff, but not too much there. Like you said, the Sand King going to have his halberd soon, so maybe that's going to be the X factor they really need on the Mushi factor.
Yeah. Well, and he has that GPM talent as well. Obviously not as good as the Pucks, but 120 ain't nothing to sneeze at. And eventually you can go into the 50 health regen or the 4 pulses. Kind of depends on what you want to go for there. I personally like the health regen, but it's not always the best. All right. Cheese still on the ground. Go get that, somebody.
Get health regen plus heart, plus another heart, plus another heart now.
Armel, I think, put his Bloodstone on the Courier? Is that right? Or who has it? I think somebody has his Bloodstone. Okay.
It's at 4 charges. I destroy it. I wouldn't even sell it. Not even worth. 4 charges. Get that disgrace out of here.
All right, so Halberd done, like we talked about. They have the Aegis as well. What else? The Hex done for Venomancer. So
yeah, they also have the MKBs that were completed probably a little while ago, but are pretty big mentions right now on the CK and the Lina to get through the butterfly. So maybe the thing is for Dusa, when you go for this kind of build, you're kind of like, okay, I have to keep the butterfly because I need that flutter movement speed, but the butterfly has become kind of useless. He'd rather have like an AC right now,
right,
for the physical right clicks, but he kind of needs that movement speed from the flutter.
Right. Well, and instead it's the CK who's picked up the AC.
Oh yeah, he's actually getting it.
That's what Mushi's doing? Okay.
Nice. Predicted.
Got it. And it looks like Puck is going for the Moon Shard route as well, and almost has one completed for Mushi. While Armel can keep these lanes pushed out. This feels like it's a very big power curve right now for Clutch Gamers, and particularly having Bloodright thrown out there, not going to connect. They have found Mushi. They've got eyes on him. They get the Stone Gaze out. Global as well. Yeah, this is not the fight that they wanted to take, the way that they wanted to take it. The Hex is there. Mushi going to be able to Manta away. Gets alive. Ninja Boogie dropping low. Gabby is still doing the damage as well, and unfortunately, he does not have the Aegis this time around. The Bloodthorn, more than enough damage to take him down. Epicenter comes in, not nearly enough damage, and the 4 pulses weren't enough to make the difference either. More damage coming in. Rappy not able to find that kill onto the Veno, but still, great team fight for Mineski.
Yeah, that's another unfortunate circumstance for Clutch, where they're like, oh crap, we just found the Dusa, and the Ricky was right there by him, giving the vision with the gem. Both of those things had to like come together for that to work. That's like the weirdest part, right? Both had to be perfect, and it was just perfect. So Mineski, now they're going to gain a little bit of advantage. They still have the cheese on the Vino here, but the Silencer's dead. That means I can't pick up my Bloodstone. Please.
Oh, no.
Silencer, buy back. But he doesn't have it.
That's true. Can't you put that on the... He could drop it if he sends it into the Courier. But
I don't know if you can for friends' items.
Okay.
That's the thing. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
I'm sure they would if they were capable of.
Yours.
Yeah. That's the thing. All right, well, more danger. The Bloodright spam is going to come out, and
they used Rupture on Lincoln's
Vino.
So they only have one Rupture.
dealing the damage. CK has buyback if they wanted to go for it, and they might just need to at this point. The long duration stun, no great answer for it. They're going to be silenced. Armel is going to die. He does have buyback. Buying back immediately.
They need to get out.
Okay. Scary stuff indeed. A blood right to ensure their retreat. Still they can chase if they want to here. Rappy still in trouble. They have the plague wards drop down. Can they find them all? Oh, CK, he bots onto the TP into the creeps over to the other side. They realize what's happening and now need to retreat to the south side. Nana almost pulled back in, but they can't quite catch it. And now, again, they're getting the vision. They don't quite manage to get up. The global is there, so they do have Puck. No, they don't have Puck. Puck got away. Damn.
You could have just... Alright, so the thing is with Silencer, you don't... Ulti, you don't have to wait until you don't have to wait for the puck to hit the ground to use your global. All you have to do is use it when he's basically in the air, and he's going to be silenced when he comes down. It's a little known fact that not many people know about unless you like spam Silencer, especially when you're against Puck. This is that's like the one way to almost always get a kill there. The thing is, he still had BKB to work with, but he probably would have still died there for Nana.
Yeah.
So a little bit, and it's been happening the whole game too for Silencer. He's like, okay, I gotta time this perfectly. I gotta time this perfectly. Well, you don't necessarily have to time your ulti perfectly because of the way the mechanic works. You just need to make sure you ulti right after they Yules, basically, or just wait until like a second right before they're trying to hit the ground.
Yeah.
So you get more duration.
At least then you force out the BKB if nothing else.
Yeah.
All right, well, Mushi is reconnected. We also have to mention Disruptor has his Aghanim Scepter done. As far as other level 25s, we're only a little bit away from the Silencers here. Not sure which one he's going to end up going for in that. The 4 pulses came out for the Sand King, which we said it's pretty good. He needs that extra bit of damage, but we'll see if, you know, I guess the only thing that could be good is him staying alive a little bit longer to make sure he gets the halberd off. But that might be the big item to deal with this. Like, do Mineski have enough damage outside of the Medusa that the halberd is not really going to be the biggest issue in the world?
It depends like how long the team fight lasts, right? It's still hard for Clutch Gamers to just get in there, right? They don't have like a blink or something on Chaos Knight and stuff like this for the Lina. They kind of still have to run their bodies in at them. And that's been the biggest problem, right? They just keep running their bodies into Mushi. Well, we're going to hold all this. This could be very big. The end of the game, potentially.
Lina just picked up a DD as well, so she's going to have it for this fight. Sai Solo, he doesn't have global silence, so him dying here is not the biggest deal in the world. Rappy getting chased down, already has popped his ultimate, and in trouble, eats the cheese, tries to turn and fight. They've taken down jabs. That is going to be another one dead. The DD Armel is just doing so much damage here, but Mushi maybe doing a little bit more. They do have the halberd already committed, and Lucifer is not going to be able to get out of there. The Burrow Strike back in, it's not nearly enough. They take down everybody from Clutch Gamers, and they're going to need a miraculous hold here from Clutch to deal with this. They have that halberd still. It's the way to do it if they can make it happen.
They still have CK buyback to use it.
Mineski certainly feel like they're the winners.
They need to go. I would say in this situation, going for...
Oh, no.
If they get this kill, it could be game.
Yule Scepter lifting him up and in trouble. The cloud comes out. CK not nearly enough to deal with all of this. Nana almost dead. Is going to be able to lift her for the moment, though. Gabby. He's dead for just a second here, it looks like. The puck is back into it. Everybody is gone. Clutch Gamers are going to die and get dropped down to the lower bracket as Mineski move on.
So the safer play maybe there was to get Megas, but they realized they had bots buyback on at least 3 of their heroes. Really well played, understanding that it was like a 3v8 at the end there. All they really had to do was go on to anyone, and they went on to the Sand King, showed himself there. Really well played in all these team fights, and maybe a little bit unfortunate for Clutch Gamers. Just when every time they try to make a play, they just like hit a wall. That's basically the best way to describe it. They hit Mushi, and then sure they penetrated the wall a little bit. They bruised it. They knocked their heads against it, but eventually it was rebuilt. And yeah, Mushi. I thought for a second they were going to lose this game. Honestly, it looked like Clutch Gamers were going to win this to me.
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes ago. Like they kind of like, but then it was just like a full circle. What's going on in this game, Lyrical? I just like, what? It was pretty fun. Interesting game.
Yeah, definitely. And it really, I guess the thing that it felt like to me again was the team that held their composure better towards the end of it all was the one that won the game. Like it felt like experience again, and this has been consistently Clutch Gamers' issue, has been their ability to perform on LAN, their ability to perform when it matters most in playoffs and qualifiers. Sometimes they end up doing it, but particularly in this one, like there were multiple moments where it felt like it didn't all fit. It wasn't smooth. It wasn't clean. And maybe that's also, again, bringing back Gabby, who was a consistent player for them for a long time, but then they dropped out, said that they weren't going to play with them anymore, and was just standing in for this. So I don't know. It's tough to know exactly what's going on in their heads, but Mineski are going to move on, and they're going to face the winner of the next series, which we are going to be taking a look at in just a couple of minutes. It looks like there's going to be a 30 minutes delay, so that way teams can have a little bit of time to get ready or something. I'm not exactly sure, but there's a 30-minute delay, so that game will be starting in 30 minutes. But it is Execration versus RRQ. Another great matchup. I think if you look at those two teams, it's kind of interesting because RRQ is a team that's been together for a long time. It's had a fairly consistent group of players playing for it. And then Execration switched up before the TI qualifiers, and of course they are going to be one of those teams representing SEA. But Ryuu, any final thoughts about this series, what you're thinking?
I agree to your sentiments. If Clutch Gamers could just pull it out here in the end, maybe of this last game, it would have been better for them. They could have went to the next game, showed that they aren't down, but yeah, they look like they're really good. It's just this extra oomph that they need to really close out these games and to finish the series and whatnot, just to get them over there. Maybe there's a curse or something. Who knows? All this, gibberish or this maybe need to throw some salt over your shoulders or something, but it's just a little bit unfortunate because they are a really good team to watch and they do qualify for a lot of stuff, but maybe they just eventually they'll find either their stride with these players or in the next one, since they didn't get to TI like you said. But this next matchup, I'm looking forward to it as well. It should be very fun for us to cast, unless you want to kick me for another cast.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Get the hell out of here.
I don't want to cast with you anymore.
All right, so we'll be back in a little bit. Ryu's not leaving anywhere. Wanted to let you guys know a little bit of an update. So I found out why it's a 30-minute delay. Apparently, Execration have got electricity problems at their city, so they're moving to a different city to play the game, and they'll be there in 30 minutes. So really,
what if the whole place it loses electricity? They're gonna have to go to a different country soon.
I know. Jeez,
it's gonna be delayed.
Even further.
Well,
play on the plane.
I mean, this is the real thing. Like, I'm sitting in my room right now. I got some shorts on. I just been yelling at my computer.
That's hot stuff right there.
I know, it's good, right?
Hot.
I'm not wearing a shirt either, so look out.
Whoa!
I know. Spicy. But, we're just sitting around doing nothing. These guys are, like, going on the road to make sure that they can play their Dota. Goodness gracious. You love to see it. By the way, 85,000 damage dealt by Mushi and 853 GPM. Ain't bad. Ain't bad at all. All right, Ryuu, we're going to call this done at this point. See you guys in about 30 minutes for our next series. Again, it is Execration versus RRQ. Lyrical as well as Ryuu will be your casters for that one. We'll see you guys in a few.